Hello viewers, welcome to the digital class of Udainath Autonomous College of Science and Technology. So viewers, today's video will be all about a new technique, that is switching. So what is the concept of switching, why we take the help of switching technique, how many types of switching are there, all the related topic will be in today's video. So without wasting much of our time, let's move on to the slides, that is switching. So switching is a process to forward packets coming in from one port to a port leading towards the destination. That means switching is a process, or we can say it is also a technique to forward the packets. So as we have already discussed that packets are the combination of sender address, data and receiver address. So whenever we are sending the data from one location to another location, so all the data are departed or they are distributed into equal number of packets depending on the speed of the internet or the network type. So whenever we are sending the packets are forwarded from one location to another location. So switching is the process to forward the packets coming in from one port to a port leading towards the destination. That means whenever a sender sends a message from one location to another location, at that place switching takes the process. That means switching is the process through which we can send the packets or we can forward the packets from one port to another port. So when data comes on a port, it is called as ingress. That means whenever data is received by a port, then the process is known as ingress, and when the data leaves a port and goes out, it is called egress. That means after receiving, when it leaves the port and it moves forward to another port, then the process is known as your egress. That means receiving the process is called as ingress and leaving the port is known as egress. A communication system may include number of switches and nodes. That means whenever we are communicating with each other, so the whole communicating system can include a number of switches and nodes according to the requirement. That means a lot of switches and nodes actually combine together to form the communication system. So it is not necessary that in a single communication system we will deal with a single switch or a single node. There can be multiple switches and nodes which can form the whole communication system. So at broad level, switching can be divided into two major categories. That means we can divide the switching technique into two main categories, that is connectionless and another one is connection oriented. So these are the two processes in which we can continue the process of switching. So moving on to the switching categories. So the first category is our connectionless. That means the data is forwarded on behalf of forwarding tables. So in case of connectionless system, the data or the packet that has been sent will be forwarded in the behalf of forwarding tables. That means there are a certain number of forwarding tables that contains a lot of data. So similarly, the data that has been forwarded or the packet that has been forwarded will move accordingly to the forwarding table. No previous handshaking is required and acknowledgements are optional. That means no previous handshaking means there will be no manual concept in case of connectionless system. That means whenever we will be sending the data, it will be in the forwarding table and they will be forwarded according to the table requirement. But there will be no manual settings so that the data will be forwarded, and there will be no acknowledgement. That means the user cannot change the forwarding table according to their requirement. That means the forwarding table will be collected or they will be prepared or they will be initialized, and then the data will be forwarded accordingly. Similarly, the next category is our connection oriented. So what do you mean by connection oriented? Before switching data to be forwarded to the destination, there is a need to pre-establish circuit along the path between both endpoints. That means whenever we are switching the data or we are sending the data or packets to be forwarded from one location to another location, at that time there is a need to pre-establish the circuit. That means there must be a pre-defined circuit or pre-established circuit that will transfer the data from one point to another point. That means the circuit will create a path through which the endpoint will connect with each other. That means in case of connection oriented, the two endpoints must establish a circuit or a dedicated circuit through which the data will be transferred. So data is then forwarded on that circuit. That means after creation of the path or the circuit, then the data will be forwarded. After the transfer is completed, circuits can be kept for future use or can be turned down immediately. That means if we have created or we have established a new circuit for transferring the data from one location to another location, so after the transfer is completed, then the circuit can be kept for the future use, or we can turn down it immediately. That means if you do not need it for future use, we can turn down immediately, or if it can be used for future use, then we can keep it so that in future times we can take the help of that circuit so that we will be sending the data again. So these are the two categories of switching, that is connectionless and connection oriented. So in case of connectionless, there is no concept of pre-established circuit. That means there will be a forwarding table, and according to the data in the forwarding table, the data will be transferred or the packets will be forwarded. Similarly, in case of connection oriented system, there is a pre-established circuit or a predefined circuit in which the circuit will be established first and then the data will be transferred. So it is not necessary that the circuit will be turned down immediately. That means the circuit can be kept for future use, or it can be turned out immediately as per the requirement of the system. So next we will be moving to types of switching technique. So here in this picture you can clearly see that switching technique are of different types. That means switching technique is broadly divided into circuit switching, message switching and packet switching. Similarly, circuit switching is categorized to space division switches and time division switches. Again, the packet switching is divided into datagram approach and virtual circuit approach. Again, the virtual circuit approach is divided into switched virtual circuit, that is SVC, or permanent virtual circuit, that is PVC. So these are some of the categories of switching techniques. But switching technique is categorically divided into three parts, that is circuit switching, message switching and packet switching. So we will be discussing about circuit switching, message switching and packet switching in this video, and the other divisions, that is space division switches, time division switches, datagram approach, virtual circuit approach, switched virtual circuit that is SVC, and permanent virtual circuit, that is PVC, will be discussed in some other videos. So without wasting much of our time, let's move on to the new concept, that is circuit switching. So in case of circuit switching, it is a switching technique that establishes a dedicated path between sender and receiver. That means in case of this switching technique, a dedicated path is being created by the sender and receiver. That means first the path will be created and then the sender and receiver can communicate with each other. So in the circuit switching technique, once the connection is established, then the dedicated path will remain to exist until the connection is terminated. That means in this technique, after the connection is established and the dedicated path has been created, then it will remain like that until the connection is terminated. That means until a single, either a sender or a receiver will not terminate the program, then the system will not be terminated. So in case of circuit switching, it is a network that operates in a similar way as the telephone works. That means it is very similar to the telephone system. That means whenever we are calling anyone through the telephone system, so first of all a dedicated path has been created, then the data is being sent. So whenever they will be communicating with each other, so if anyone, that is either the sender or the receiver, terminates, then the whole system gets terminated. So this is also similar to the circuit switching. So a complete end-to-end path must exist between the communication takes place. That means the end-to-end path, that means the sender and receiver path must have a complete path so that the communication will take place. If there will be any problem in between them, then the communication will not take place. So in case of circuit switching technique, when any user wants to send the data, that is, it can be voice, video, a request signal that is sent to the receiver, then the receiver sends back the acknowledgement to ensure that the availability of the dedicated path. So after receiving the acknowledgement, the dedicated path transfers the data. That means whenever the sender sends any information or tries to send any data to the receiver, so the receiver, on successful receiving the acknowledgement, will give a response to the sender, so that the sender will have or will get confirmation that the receiver side is clear and the data can be sent. So in case of circuit switching technique, the user or the sender have the response, or they get the response very clearly that they have received the acknowledgement from the receiver. So circuit switching is used in public telephone network. That means the telephone network that we are using today is completely based on circuit switching technique. So it is used for voice transmission. That means in telephone network, whenever we are going for voice transmission, that means whenever we are calling someone, we are talking to someone over the telephone, so all these things are coming under the circuit switching. So fixed data can be transferred at a time in circuit switching technology. That means whenever we have a technology to send fixed amount of data, so we can take the help of circuit switching in order to send the data from sender to the receiver. So circuit switching can be broadly described as a switching technique that establishes a dedicated path between the sender and the receiver. The receiver receives the acknowledgement, sends a response to the sender receives the response and confirms the data to be sent. The data has to be sent. Then after receiving the data, the receiver again sends the delivery report that whether the data has been received properly or not. So whenever either the sender or the receiver terminates the system, then the whole system gets terminated, and it is up to the user whether the user will be keeping the circuit for future use or they will be terminating at some point. So this is all about the circuit switching. So you can see the image over here that there are three terminals over here. There are two systems that are linked to the switch, through which the switch are connected to other switches. So you can see that switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, switch 4, switch 5 are there, which are connecting those terminals. That means you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4 systems are there, in which there is a laptop over here and 3 desktop systems are there, 1 telephone line is there, and there are 5 switches that are connected. So you can see there are dedicated connections between the switches and there are links between the terminals. So the dedicated connections are actually done because we know that circuit switching is responsible for creating the link first or creating the path first, then they will be sending the data. So in this way the dedicated connections are being created and the data will be sent through the help of switches. So in this way the terminals at different ends are getting connected to the switch through the help of switching technique. So whenever the switching technique will take place, the device that is switched must be activated. So this is all about the circuit switching, in which there are dedicated connections, there are links, there are switches which actually complete the whole system. Now we will be moving to the advantages and disadvantages of circuit switching. So first of all we will move to advantages of circuit switching. So in case of circuit switching technique, the communication channel is dedicated. That means what is the main advantage of circuit switching is that the communication channel is dedicated. That means there is a fixed length or fixed path between the sender and receiver. That means the sender has to send the data and the receiver has to receive the data. So the sender side or end to end points are always dedicated or fixed. So this is the main advantage of circuit switching. Next is that it has fixed bandwidth. That means in case of circuit switching, the bandwidth is fixed, it is not fluctuative. That means whenever we will connect to the circuit switching, the switching technique will have a fixed bandwidth. It will have no fluctuating bandwidth. So the data that will be sent will be transferred smoothly. So what are the disadvantages of circuit switching? So as there are some advantages, so we must face some disadvantages. So let's move to the disadvantages of circuit switching. So once the dedicated path is established, the only delay occurs is the speed of data transmission. That means whenever the dedicated path has been created or it has been established, the only problem that occurs is the speed of the data transmission. That means only the speed of the data transmission is actually affected after the establishment of the dedicated path in case of circuit switching. So it takes a long time to establish a connection, approximately 10 seconds, during which no data can be transmitted. So this is actually a very big disadvantage, that it takes a very long time to establish. That means whenever there is a connection establishment, so it takes approximately 10 seconds in case of connecting to the end points. That means whenever the sender has to send the data, the dedicated path has to be created and it takes a time of approximately 10 seconds in order to transmit the data. So it is being a very big disadvantage for circuit switching. So it is more expensive than other switching technique, as a dedicated path is required for each connection. That is, the connection or the path creation is very expensive in case of switching technique whenever we are going for circuit switching, because as there is a dedicated path and we have a fixed bandwidth, so obviously this technique will come for more expensive. So it is inefficient to use, because once the path is established and no data is transferred, then the capacity of the path is wasted. So this is another disadvantage, that whenever we are creating a path and we are not sending any data, then the path is actually reserving the location or the bandwidth in which the data will not be sent, or the path will be wasted. So in this case, the connection is dedicated, therefore no other data can be transferred, even the channel is free. That means whenever we have created a path and we are not sending any data, but that path will be not available to other channels, or that channel will not be free to send the data. That means it will occupy the path and the data will not be sent. So these are some of the disadvantages of circuit switching. So we have come across the advantages and disadvantages of circuit switching. Next we will be moving to another switching technique, that is message switching. So message switching is a switching technique in which message is transferred as a complete unit and routed through intermediate nodes at which it is stored and forwarded. That means in case of message switching, the technique sends the message in the form of complete unit. That means the whole data will be transferred at a single point and routed through intermediate nodes. That means there will be no more routing table as compared to the circuit switching. So in a single node, the whole data or the whole message will be transferred, at which the data will be stored and forwarded. So it also carries the formation of forwarding the data from one location to another location, but whenever the data will be sent, it will be not in the form of different packets, it will be formed in a single unit. So in message switching technique, there is no establishment of a dedicated path between the sender and receiver. So as compared to the circuit switching, as the circuit switching establishes a dedicated path between the sender and receiver, but in message switching there is no establishment, or there is no requirement of establishing a dedicated path to send the data from sender to receiver. So the destination address is appended to the message. Message switching provides a dynamic routing as the message is routed through the intermediate nodes based on the information available in the message. That means the destination that has to be sent the message needs to be appended in the message. That means the destination address, the sender address, all the things will be appended in the message. So message switching provides a dynamic routing. That means the routing is dynamic, it is not static as compared to the circuit switching. That means in circuit switching, the routing was static. That means it totally depends on the routing table, whereas message switching does not depend on the routing table. It is dynamic in nature. So message switches are programmed in such a way so that they can provide the more efficient routes. So the switches in the message switching are programmed in a versatile way so that they can be used for more efficient routes. That means there are many efficient routes through which the message switching can take place. So each and every node stores the entire message and then forward it to the next node. That means whenever we are sending the data, so each node stores the entire message and then it forwards it to the next node. So this type of network is also known as store and forward network. That means in case of message switching, we follow the concept of store and forward network. So message switching treats each message as an independent entity. That means every message in the message switching is termed as an entity. That means the number of messages that we are sending is termed as the number of entity that has been sent in case of message switching. So next we will be moving to the diagram of message switching. So you can see that there are 4 terminals and we have 4 switches where there is a concept of store and forward. So whenever the sender is sending any data, it is being sent to a switch where the store and forward concept are implemented. Then again it is being forwarded to another switch. So similarly they are being sent to different switches, and every switch has the concept of store and forward. That means the message that will be received will be stored in the switch first and then it will be forwarded to the destination address. So whenever the data will be stored and forwarded, every switch will have the capacity to store the message, and it will deliver or it will forward the message from its location to the nearest destination location. So now we will be moving to the advantages of message switching. So the first advantage of message switching is that the data channels are shared among the communication devices that improve the efficiency of using available bandwidth. So that means the data channels that are being used in these communication devices where the message switching technique has been implemented, so it is given to improve the efficiency of the available bandwidth. That means whatever bandwidth is available, we can take the maximum benefit of it through the help of data channels in case of message switching. So traffic congestion can be reduced because the message is temporarily stored in the nodes. That means whatever message will be stored in the nodes are temporary in location or temporary in nature. That means the data or the message will be stored temporarily, so the traffic congestion is being reduced in case of message switching. So message priority can be used to manage the network. That means there is a concept of prioritizing the message. That means which message needs more priority can be managed in the network. So the size of the message which is sent over the network can be varied. Therefore, it supports the data of unlimited size. That means if our bandwidth is very high, so we can have the capability of sending a large amount of data. So the size of message which is being sent over the network can be varied. So it is not necessary that we will be sending a fixed amount of message or fixed amount of data from sender to the receiver. So these are some of the advantages of message switching. Now we will be moving to the disadvantages of message switching. So the message switches must be equipped with sufficient storage to enable them to store the messages until the message is forwarded. That means the message switches must be equipped with the maximum amount of storage, because the nodes that will be storing the messages must have sufficient storage in order to store the message, because when the message will be forwarded, then the nodes will have, if the nodes will not have sufficient memory, then the message will not be stored. So the long delay can occur due to the storing and forwarding facility provided by the message switching technique. That means there may be a chance that there will be a long delay because of storing and forwarding the message. So this is the main disadvantage of message switching. So we have already discussed some of the advantages of message switching along with the disadvantages of message switching. Now we will be moving to the next concept, that is packet switching. So the packet switching is a switching technique in which the message is sent in one go, but it is divided into smaller pieces and they are sent individually. So the packet switching is the switching technique in which actually the messages are sent in a single click. That means the message will be divided into smaller pieces, but they will be sent individually and they will be sent at a single unit at a single point. So the message splits into smaller pieces known as packets, as we have discussed in the circuit switching, and the packets are given a unique number to identify their order on the receiving end. That means whenever we will be sending the data, it will be splitted into number of packets, and the packets will be given a particular identity number so that they will be in a particular order in the receiving end. So every packet contains some information in its header, such as source address, destination address and sequence number. That means every packet, as we have discussed before, it contains the sender address, the receiver address, the data along with the sequence number. So packets will travel across the network taking the shortest path as possible. That means whenever the sender is sending any data, there are a lot of possible ways or path through which the packets can be transferred to the network. But the packets will always follow the shortest path that is possible between the sender and receiver. So all the packets are reassembled at the receiving end in correct order. That means whatever packets will be sent will be reassembled at the receiving end in the correct order. So any packet is missing or corrupted, then the message will be sent to resend the message. So there is a chance that where let's say there is a voltage fluctuation or there may be a traffic congestion. So let's say some packets has been missed. So the missed or the corrupted packets can be resent again by the sender to the receiver. So if the correct order of the packet is reached, then the acknowledgement message will be sent. So after receiving the packets in a correct order and all the packets are not corrupted or missed, So the acknowledgement message will be sent to the sender. That means the delivery report will be sent to the sender. So this is the image of the packet switching. That is, you can see there is a terminal over here, there is another terminal over here, and a lot of switches are connected with each other. So whenever the data is being sent, it is sent in the form of packets. The packets are in the order form. So when the data are being sent, so the packets are being sent from one location to another location, that is from one switch to another switch. So whenever the final switch handles all the packets, or it receives all the packet, so all the packets are combined in the particular order, and you can see the order of the packets at the sender side is equal to the number of packets or the order of packets at the receiving side. So this is all about the packet switching, in which the data is being divided into number of packets and sent to the receiver side. So this is all about the packet switching. So I hope you have all understood what is switching technique, what are the categories of switching technique. So in today's video we have already discussed what is circuit switching, what is message switching, what is packet switching. So in our next video we will be moving to some more categories of circuit switching and packet switching. So if you have any doubt, you can comment me on our YouTube channel. Till then, thank you.